Hello, I'm Shannon,
And I'm Laramie.
and we are Hot Moms and Hormones.
Yes.
All right, this week we don't really even have a topic. We're just going to sit here and talk, I guess.
We're going to talk about talk.
Yeah. So, how was everybody's Mother's Day?
Yeah, we can talk about Mother's Day. You said you had a good one?
Yeah. We went to breakfast. We met Caitlin we just went to IHOP and went to eat breakfast. It was me, Gary, Skyla, and Caitlin. We tried to call Preston and FaceTime him and put him on the table, but he didn't answer. So when he called me later, I was like, "Why didn't you answer?" He goes, "I was still asleep. I had a late night." And I went, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And
what's your late night, buddy?
Yeah. And he goes, "I had fire watch." And I went, "Okay, how long is your fire watch?" And he goes, "An hour." And I went, "An hour?
What's fire watch?
Well, I don't really know what the Army's fire watch is. I know when I was in boot camp and my A school and stuff like that, ours was like quarterdeck watch, where we had to just stand there and make sure nobody like came in, and if they did, we had to, make sure they were meant to be there.
Oh, okay. Like checking people coming on base or whatever.
Yeah. And so our watches were 4 hours. And
okay.
so that's
you're like,
why,
okay, buddy, if you were from 10 to 2, I could see you still be asleep.
So, and that's why I said, I was like, so your fire watch was an hour and you had a late night that you slept till noon. And I was like, okay, whatever. So
I called Gable yesterday evening. It was probably like, I don't know, 5 or so. And he was asleep. And he was like, "Oh, hey, Mom." And I said, "Bub, I'm sorry." I was like, "Were you sleeping?" He's like, "Yeah, I was taking a nap." And I'm like, "Why are you taking a nap? It's 5 o'clock at night. Like, aren't you going to go to bed in a few hours?" She's like, "No, I'm going to play poker tonight, so it's getting up all night."
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, then I apparently, old people in our technology, I apparently butt dialed him this morning. How you do that, I don't know, but I did. And so he called me back when I was on the way here. And he was like, what'd you need? And I said, "What are you talking about?" Like, "You called me this morning." "No, I didn't." He was like, "Yeah, it was like 7 o'clock. I was asleep." I was like, "Oh, no, I didn't." And then I looked like, "Oh, yes, I did." "Sorry, Bubba." I was like, "I didn't need anything. Sorry, Bub."
Yeah.
But we didn't do any fun stuff.
No, we just went to breakfast and then came home, and Caitlin went to her house, and then Skyla had to work. I went and got my nails done and got a pedicure, and then came home.
So you had a couple hours by yourself?
Yeah.
That's never a bad thing.
Yeah.
We did. Glenn made dinner. We were supposed to be working on
Gary
cars.
Gary made me dinner too, but
we were supposed to be working on cars, but Glenn had worked on cars all day Saturday, and he was on Sunday. He was very overwhelmed. He was like, "I want to make your day special, but we also needed stuff in the car." And finally, he was like, "You know what? I'm not doing anything on the car today." He just looked at me. He's like, "I'm not working on cars today." And I was like, "That's okay." I was like, "He's been working on cars for the last 4 weeks on and off, and he's done with it." And so I said something about, "I want a BLT." And this was like 10:30, probably in the morning. And I was like, "I want a BLT." And I was thinking we would go get some breakfast, whatever. And he was like, "All right, G and I are going to go to the store. We'll be back in a few." And I was like, "Okay." And then they came back, and he went in the kitchen and made a BLT.
That was loud.
Yeah, it was. Made a BLT for me. Like, had went and bought all the stuff, and then made French fries. Like 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, he's in there frying French fries. And then all 4 kids, I got to see all 4 kids, and that's always a win.
Yep.
They all 4 came over for dinner, and so we just had dinner. But we don't really do, like, you guys do gifts. You even said, like, for Father's Day and stuff, like, you get Gary a gift, the kids get Gary a gift, whatever.
Yeah.
We don't hardly do gifts.
Really?
Like, I don't know why, but even, like, anniversary, Mother's Day, even birthdays, really, Glenn and I don't really do.
Well, Gary and
gifts.
Gary and I always say, "We're not doing gifts this year, okay?" And then we always end up doing it because and the reason we always say we're not getting each other gifts is because we get each other gifts all through the year.
Yeah.
But it never fails. We always find something that, oh, that reminds me of Gary and that, or, whatever, and we get it. So.
Yeah, we he'll bring me flowers throughout the year, and there's lots of times where I might be like, hey, I got you this new shirt, this new grunt style shirt or whatever. But Christmas we do gifts, but really no other. Come to think of it, no other holidays do we really. But even it's that way with the kids too, though. Like I'll get them an Easter basket, and I usually get them like one little dollar heart thing of candy for Valentine's Day. But like my mom was like, we had presents every single Thursday when I came home. This is how jacked up it was. Every single Thursday when I came home, my bed would be covered with new stuff. And it would be clothes, toys, shoes, whatever she
was that
found.
like her apology for being the way she was, or
every Thursday? I don't know. She didn't work on Thursdays. That was her day off, Thursdays and Sundays. And so on Thursdays, I knew when I got home there would be presents all over my bed. And even as an adult, one time, like I think Gable was little, and she came to our house in Little Elm and left like presents on the bed. She's like, I just thought it would remind you of when you were a kid. And I'm like, yeah, that's like, the idea is great, right? But every week excessive, and then our electricity is getting shut off. Like I have a bed full of gifts, but we don't have any milk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like that's what made it jacked up. Not so much that, oh, your mom gave you a present every Thursday. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It would be had it not been all of these other things together. And maybe it was, psychologically, maybe it was a form of apology.
Yeah.
But I think it was more just she wanted to spend money and go shopping, and that was a great excuse.
Probably. Yeah. Oh, I'm buying stuff for the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gary, he always buys me and the girls Valentine's Day stuff. The girls always get a big, huge heart full of chocolate and usually a teddy bear of some sort. Sometimes it's a little bitty teddy bear, but sometimes it's a big, huge teddy bear. Yeah. And then I always get, whatever. And then for Easter, I always get all 3 kids an Easter basket. And then I also do the boo baskets.
Oh yeah, in the fall. For Halloween.
Because we don't do Halloween. I'm not a big Halloween person, so even when they were little, I always tried to, get out of taking them trick or treating. I would always bribe them, like, I'll just buy you like a big bag of candy, and we'll sit here and watch kid Halloween movies. You know, sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. But I think in the however many years I was a mom, 25, but then with Caitlin and then with or Skyla, I think I might have only taken the kids trick or treating maybe twice.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I guess I just never, I knew you weren't ever a Halloween, like it wasn't a thing, but I guess I just assumed you still took them trick or treating.
And the one I remember, the only reason I remember is because it was our neighbors over here. They had a hayride, and so we just all jumped in the trailer, and then went here in the neighborhood, and that's what and I didn't have to take them. We were drinking
and riding around in a hayride,
and the kids would jump off the So
no, we go trick or treat. That's like a big one for us, I guess. This trick or treat, like even now living in a neighborhood where, like, our neighborhood on Halloween is like in the movies. Oh. It's actually really cool because that main street, like not our street where you turn onto our street, but where you come off of the highway.
Okay.
That main street, the police will drive up and down that street super slow all night long. And it's just gobs of families walking up and down that street and then the neighboring streets. And it's literally like a Halloween movie, like on Hocus Pocus, where they go. That's what it's like, and it's really cool. Like I've never had that experience. We'd always lived in. Well, we lived in the country before, and when we lived in a neighborhood before, it wasn't even that way because it was just like the neighborhood kids. Yeah, and it was a pretty small neighborhood. Whereas this is like our area is one of the spots that everybody comes to in town. There's 2 spots. One's on the other side of 730, and one's on our side of 730, and both of them is like it looks like there's even families that will set up. There's one on that street that sets up. She picks a theme every year, and like last year it was Harry Potter, and she builds like a full movie set. They have the movies playing. There's one house that always has margaritas for the adults. Like you
Hmm.
walk by and they're like, okay, kids drinks here, adults margaritas here. There's a bunch of them that like the parents and stuff will just sit out in the driveways, and you can just sit and hang out with them while your kid goes down 3 or 4 houses or whatever.
That sounds kind of fun. I mean, I could
Yeah.
probably get behind that.
We
But
usually get like a group of, a couple of the girls' friends and say, hey, y'all meet at our house. We'll leave cars there and we'll walk. We'll walk a couple of miles all in
Yeah.
all, because we'll go all the way down to the next main road and then circle back on our street. And last year was the first year that Gamblin was like, hey, can I go by myself? And I like with her friends, and I was like, you know what? In this neighborhood, yeah, you can. And so we still took the smaller kids, like me and a friend, we took our smaller kids, but then our big kids, like we were like, just meet us back at home. And Glenn just sits on the porch, and like we go through tons of candy. I've spent $100 on candy before.
See, we don't. I live out in the country, so
Yeah.
nobody
So
ever
you don't
comes
have
out
trick
here.
or treaters.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, he'll sit on the porch, and then when we come around, here he is passing out candy all night. And last year, he said he was sitting there, and this, because it's high schoolers too, like it's not just little kids that come through. And he said there's a group of about 15 high schoolers that came through, and they were all like, yeah, give me candy, candy, candy. And he goes, get in line. And like all those kids, he said they all just went whoop, and like stood in line. And he was like, I held the bucket and said 2 pieces each, and they would. He's like, every single one of them kids with big, huge eyes staring at me, picking their 2 pieces of candy. They're like, who is this guy?
Yeah, and I don't. Some people get kind of mad that high schoolers still, and I'm like, as long as they're dressed up and they're,
Now we do get a lot of those, like even adults that aren't dressed up that come by, and Glenn's like, I'm not giving you candy.
No.
Like, you're a grown ass man.
Yeah.
You got a mustache.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not giving you a Twix. You got a mustache, buddy. Go buy your own.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's actually a pretty cool neighborhood to live in on Halloween. Like, even I think it's this year Halloween is on a Friday or Saturday. I think it's on a Saturday.
I don't know. Here, I'll look.
But last year it was on a Friday, and there was a football game, and they changed.
Yep, you're right. Yep.
They changed the Halloween basically until the next day. Mm-hmm. But this year I think it's on a Saturday, and so we'll probably do what we did last year, which was like grill. Like, we called all our local friends and stuff, and like the dads stayed at our house and made hot dogs and hung out, and then all the moms took the kids around. Yeah. So like y'all could come over for that and just hang out, for dinner and stuff, because that's always fun, having drinks and just sitting around, because you do get to see all the kids having fun. And
yeah, and I've had, I think, 1 or 2. Well, I don't have Halloween parties. I always have themed birthday parties.
Yeah, you had that one Halloween party. Me and Glenn dressed up.
Oh yeah, yep. We've already talked about that.
Yep. That was a good night.
I know. I told Gary, I said, I kind of want to start having parties again. Yeah. Because like when we first moved out here 18 years ago, we had a party like at least once a month.
Yeah.
For something.
Yeah.
And because I was like, woohoo, we live out in the country, no cops, and then we just kind of got tired of having parties, and we didn't have them for a long time. But I told him just recently, I was like, I think I kind of want to have get-togethers again. Yeah. Hopefully all of our friends, because like you live a good hour.
It's an hour, right at an hour, yeah.
And a lot of our friends do live kind of a ways, but and especially in the summer, we have a pool,
Yeah.
So
last time when we came over,
it was for Preston's going away.
Well, yeah, but before that, we came over, and Chandra and whatever dude she was with,
her husband Jerry.
Was that her husband?
Yeah.
Did they break up?
I think so. I don't know.
Anyway, they were here, and we swam and stuff.
Yeah.
Cohen shit his pants as he was fixing to get in the pool, and Kendall had to go change it. Like, Kendall was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go change it," and she was all bent because Preston wouldn't do it.
It had to have been.
It was like not last summer, but summer before.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably the last, like, other than Preston's going away thing.
Yeah.
Here we had quite a few get-togethers the first year or so. Now it's kind of like, do I like these people enough to spend an extended amount of time with them?
Right.
Yeah. Like, I used to be kind of like, okay, like everybody, yeah, invite so and so, and invite so and so, and invite so and so. Now I'm like, like, I like you, so yeah, I'll invite you, but no, I don't want your kids to come.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like,
Yep.
and we have a few friends. There's one friend of mine, and I love her. She is so fun. We get along, but her kids, my kids don't like her kids. I don't know if she knows that my kids don't like her kids, but they'll be like, "Are they coming?" I'm like, "Well, they were gonna. We don't want to be here then." Like,
Yeah.
they can't stand her kids, and I'm
Yeah.
always like, "I want to hang out with her, but how do you say
Yeah.
I want you to come over and hang out?"
Yeah, and that's one of the joys now that Gary and I are at our age and our kids are all older.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're all their kids. You know, they've had their own plans.
Yeah.
So over here, it is mainly just adults.
Just adults, yeah.
You know, your house, yes, you've got
It's
all
still
the
much
kids
more
still,
kid-friendly.
and sometimes, you know, even whenever you would say, "Hey, we're having a get together," and I'd tell Gary, I'm like, I
Maybe
mean,
all
it'd
the
be cool to
kids.
go, but goddamn, all those fucking kids, and they always want to be right there in the middle of you, and you know,
which is understandable. I mean, that's with anybody. You know, that's the thing is you almost have to know if you're in like still in my season of life.
Yeah.
People are going to bring their kids.
Yeah.
And because if we said no kids to everything, then we'd never have any
Yeah.
get-togethers.
Yeah.
You know, but we're also the house that all the kids flock to as well. Like Gamblin has friends over that'll stay 2 or 3 nights.
Yeah.
You know, and they'll stay for. She's had sleepovers during the school day, you know, or school year or whatever during school week, stuff like that. That it's just that house.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
and that's how my sister's is. Her house, their neighborhood. Actually, there's quite a few. There's like 2 or 3 houses that all the kids just they take turns.
Yeah.
And I guess since we didn't have that because we live out in the country. Nobody wants to drive all the way out here. You know, I'm like, God, always having kids at the house. But then again, I'm kind of like, oh, well, all the kids, you know where they're at, you know what they're doing, and
exactly. And that's a way, like living in a neighborhood. The people across the street, they have a son that's Gamblin's age and a daughter that's Atlee's age.
Oh, that's nice.
And their daughter is on Atlee's soccer team, even like they're on the same soccer team. But they're not. They don't. They're not friends.
Yeah, they don't mesh.
No. And the mom and I have gotten to be, you know, decent friends or whatever. And I've even sitting at soccer games talking and stuff like that, or like I'll text her if something's happened on our street or, you know, that kind of thing. But those 4 kids haven't really come together that much. And they're just very different, I think. I wish Gamblin had a friend in our neighborhood, but it's literally, there's like 3 boys that live on our street or the next street that are her age, but no girls. So it's always her friends from school that, you know, their moms are bringing them over and stuff.
Yeah. It'll be great when they start getting their license.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like you. I'm kind of like, I would rather have the house that all the kids are at and that the parents know, hey, they're safe, they're taken care of, whatever, because then I do know what's going on. Versus my kid being at somebody else's house and I don't know who's over there.
Yeah.
Because that's the worst thing. Like all this sleepover stuff, like parents not allowing their kids to do any sleepovers and all that. Like I get it. You got to do what you got to do, what's best for your family. But man, these kids are missing out on that part of childhood.
Yeah.
So you have to have such a strong relationship with the other parents if you're going to allow the child to spend the night. We have that rule of dads have to meet. Like that's just a hard rule. Dads have to meet for sleepovers either way. Because I want them to know, hey, this is the man that is going to protect your child if something happens. And I want to look at that dude and say, are you going to protect my child if something happens at your house? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I just always wanted to meet the mom. Like,
yeah,
we didn't do the whole where the dads had to meet or anything like that. It was always I want to either talk to them on the phone,
right,
or meet them in person.
Have some kind of this is who I am. Yeah.
And that's like, Skyla, she has a really good friend, Tori. Like, I know the dad. I've never even met the mom.
Is the dad just more involved?
I think so. Like when I was working out at the tavern one day, Skyla was with Tori and Skyla and the dad came out there for lunch. And so I met the dad, and everything. And I always make sure the dad is there, because of situations that has happened in the past. I'm like, okay, the dad needs to be there. If the dad's not there, then you're not going until Skyla got her license.
Yeah.
Once Skyla got her license, then I was like, okay, well, now
if you need to leave, you have the means to leave.
Yeah.
And that's probably different. Like what I would think once my big kids never were spend the nighters.
Yeah.
Like I think Gable spent the night with Preston a handful of times, but most of the time Preston came and spent the night with us.
Yeah.
Or even Caitlin and Skylar come spend the night with us more than they spent the night here.
Yeah.
So, and they weren't even with their friends big spend the nighters. Gamblin is. Gamblin's the one that she wants to have a friend over or go to a friend's house every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And typically I don't mind. And Glenn, like we still, hey, you need to ask Dad, like he needs to be okay with it too because he's going to be here. And she has one little friend that he is nicknamed Steve. That's not her name. Her name is McKinley, but he calls her Steve. And now everyone calls her Steve. And she comes over to see Glenn.
That's funny.
Like she'll be like, yeah, Gamblin, I'll come over, but is your dad going to be home? And she's like, yeah, my dad's going to be home. She's like, okay, then I'll come. She's like, if your dad's not going to be home, I'm not going to come. She's like, he always cooks us food and he'll like go in there and like bring them popcorn while they're watching a movie and stuff like that. And she just loves Glenn. Like and Glenn loves Steve. Like he'll be like, Steve! And it's like this whole thing. They have their movie moment. It's so funny. But even her other friends, like we've kind of had that rule of dads need to meet. And that's because statistically, me with my statistics, children are very less likely to get molested if the dad is fully present and accounted for. Because child molesters often look for women who don't have the father, that the father's not involved.
Yeah.
Because it's not a threat. So I want anybody that sees my daughters to see him standing there and they're scared shitless. They're like, I'm not going to mess with those girls because that dude looks like he's going to beat my ass.
See, and that's what's funny. I mean, that's not funny, but my 3 kids are always like, Mom, all my friends are afraid of you.
Yeah, that you're the mean one.
Yeah, and I'm like, good. Because now they won't be asking you to do stupid shit.
How's that working for you?
Yeah.
2 baby mamas and an ex-wife. That's how it's working.
That's that one. My other 2, they're doing good.
No.
But see, that was Preston, though, because Preston's more like, after a few of his friends were like, no, your mom's mean, your mom looks mean, whatever, he wouldn't bring anybody home. So I didn't even, I think I only met Cheyenne one time. And then,
like, you can't be my mom, she's mean.
Yeah, and then they come home and go, she's pregnant. So.
Gamblin's little boyfriend, okay, we're going to call him Jeff. Jeff came to her volleyball game on Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah. And I text her. She was like, I think he's here. And his mom and I met previously at his baseball game. I took Gamblin to his baseball game and I met the mom and whatever. And I told Gamblin, I said, he needs to shake Dad's hand. It's no questions asked. Like if he wants to be your quote unquote boyfriend, you're dating, whatever, which is just seeing each other there and not at one sporting event.
Yeah.
He needs to. That he has to do that. It's not an option. And he did. This little boy came straight up to Glenn and Gamblin told her, my dad looks really scary, but he's really not. And he came right up to Glenn and introduced himself, shook his hand. And then once the game started going, Gamblin and I went down to the court and I look up and Jeff is just sitting by himself in the middle of these bleachers. No adults are like just this kid sitting there, little 11-year-old, 12-year-old kid. I'm like, okay, that's not going to work. And so I went over to him and I'm like, hey, you can come sit with us or you can go up there. And Gable was there too. And I was like, you can go up there. I said, that's, her dad that you met. And then that's her brother. Like you can go sit with them if you want. And he goes, okay, I'll go sit with them. And sure enough, that kid went straight up and sat right by Gable. And Gable, I guess, made a few big brother comments or whatever. But the kid, he held his own.
Oh, that's
he was
good.
Super polite. His mom got caught up. She was dropping him off the game and she was planning on being back before it was over. But she got caught up. And so she was texting me and she was like, hey, can he just hang out with y'all? I was like, yeah, he's fine. So he went with us to eat lunch, went back to our house for Atlee to change, and then went to soccer. And then she picked him up at the soccer game. And I mean, he was polite, respectful.
That's nice.
Yeah. I was like, okay. But you could tell Glenn sitting there at the game, right? When he walked in, Glenn sitting there and he just looked over. And you could just see that, oh, look, And I was trying to like take a picture of Glenn looking at this boy. I couldn't get a good one because it was like those videos where you see of the dad, like dad sees the boyfriend the first time. Because Glenn was like, I am not about this. Like, this is not okay.
Yeah.
But he, all in all, he said, he's like, Jeff seems like a good kid. Like, whatever. And I mean, it's fixing to be summer, so it's not like they're going to see each other for the next 3 months.
Yeah. I remember Caitlin. Was it Caitlin? Yeah. Caitlin. She was probably middle school, maybe 6th grade, something like that. I don't even really remember. Anyway, she comes home and she starts talking about this kid, and I don't even remember the kid's name now. And I was like, oh, I know him because him and his brother used to ride my bus when I drove school bus. And I was like, he's a good kid. His dad was a preacher, and his mom, I don't remember what his mom did. Anyway, I was like, yeah, he's a good kid, whatever. And Gary, today this would not happen, but this was a few years ago. Gary had a video. He made a video. He said he propped his phone up and made a video of
he's
him.
So tech savvy.
Yeah, of him writing this kid's name on a bullet.
Oh my God, yeah. Gary!
And I was like, Gary, stop it.
Yeah.
And he goes, nope. If he wants to date my daughter, blah, 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 and everything like that. Well, somehow Caitlin sent it to this boy. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my, this is not going to end well.
This is not a good situation. Yeah.
Well, but the dad, he laughed about it. He was like, that's something I would have done if I would have had daughters,
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, and so I told Gary, I said, let's not do that no more.
Glenn's always like, I'm going to clean my shop. I'm like, here's the thing. That's somebody's son.
Yeah.
Like, if you did that to my son, I'm coming at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I see you with a shotgun pointed at my son because he's dating your daughter,
yeah,
you're going to have a shotgun pointed at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't do that to their boyfriends. Mm-hmm. Like, I understand you want to put out okay, then put it out, but you don't, no weaponry involved.
Yeah.
You don't need a machete or like a sword. You see Glenn back there with a friggin' ninja sword. Like, look here, fool. No, we're not doing that. We're going to make it known who we are and you don't mess with our daughter.
Yeah.
But no bullets with names on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No machetes or
machine guns. That is a joke between all of us.
Yeah.
Like even with this new boyfriend of Caitlin's, I think Gary's even said, do I need to put his name on a bullet? And Caitlin's all like, no, Dad, he's fine. So.
Yeah, Glenn handled it pretty well.
The joys of having daughters.
Yeah. Well, apparently you got to watch your sons too.
Oh, yeah.
Because all it takes is one rusty, dusty old girl to say the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm. That she can't get pregnant.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, we've got a bigger issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's friggin', man, being a parent. We signed up for this. I signed up for this shit 4 times.
I know.
You got smart after 3, I guess.
Yep.
I was slow learner.
3 was enough. 3 was enough. And if I would have had Preston first and went through all this before having any more, Preston probably would have been an only child.
Oh, Atlee would have been first and last.
Yeah.
Yeah, one and done. One and done.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. And she's the sweetest kid.
Yeah.
But one and done.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I wouldn't have survived younger kids having Atlee. And she'll tell you, she's like, I'm the baby for a reason. They were all talking this weekend, and Gable's like, well, I'm the oldest, so I get to whatever. And he goes, she's been my mom the longest. And Atlee, dead set, looks at him, and she goes, out with the old and with the new.
Oh?
And he was like, hang on. And Gamblin and Milo are over there just cracking up like,
that's funny.
She got you.
That's funny.
I'm like, Atlee, stop it. Oh, Gamblin the other day, I was saying something about Glenn. I was like, yeah, he was mine first. I was like, he was mine first. He was mine before he was yours a long time. Mm-hmm. And she was like, but we have the same DNA.
Oh. And
I was like, you little heifer. I said, that don't matter. It took my DNA to get you too. I'm like, you little turd.
Oh,
we have the same DNA. You don't, Mom.
That's funny.
But they'll be like, I was born with this last name. You just got it. I'm like, that's not the way this works. Hang on. You just outsmarted me.
Oh, you flinching reminds me of those TikToks where the sons
Oh yeah.
walk up to the moms and flinch. I'm waiting for Preston to do that.
I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I don't think he's ballsy enough to do that. Not because of what Gary would do, but because you would knock his ass out. Like it would be like flinch flop. He wouldn't even get the whole flinch out.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's gonna be laid out on the floor.
Yeah.
My kids, I flinch at them all the time. They're like, really?
Well, Gary even like I must do it like real fast or whatever, but I'll go to put my hand on his leg and he's like, and I'm like, why do you act like I beat the crap out of you?
I haven't hit you in 32 days.
Yeah, right?
Oh.
Right?
My kids aren't scared of me at all. Like no part of them, any of them are scared of me. I think they are a little of Glenn.
Yeah.
But they're not of me.
I think that my kids are scared of me only because I was here and Gary was always at work. And so, well, I was the disciplinary.
Of the two of you, I would be more scared of you than Gary anyway. Not that Gary can't hold his own. He's just more level-headed, calm, not as hot-headed. Is that better?
Yeah, and I'm really not that hot-headed.
No.
Like, I am, but I'm not.
You're not just turning around beating people's ass for the hell of it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But of the two of you, when it comes down, like if I was here and I was like, okay, one of these people's going to beat my ass and one of them's going to give me a hug, I'm going in to Gary for the hug. I'll be like, come here, Gary. Shannon's about to beat my ass, so I need a hug first.
Oh my God, that's funny.
But that's how it would be the opposite for Glenn, right? I mean, like, if you were looking at me and Glenn, you'd be like, no, I'll hug her. Yeah. He's going to beat my ass.
Yeah. Yeah, like I knew I could probably punch you in the face and you won't do nothing. It'll be him that will come after me.
Yeah, and he would. Yeah. Whereas if I punch Gary in the face, you're going to come after me. Note to self: don't punch anybody in the face.
Oh,
I don't think. I mean, our girls are. I don't think scared's the right word of Glenn.
Yeah.
They have a healthy respect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas for me, like I can say, brush your teeth, and they're like, ha! I'm like, I said, go brush your teeth. And they're still sitting there. This happened just on Sunday night, as a matter of fact. Gable and Milo had gone back to school, and Gamblin had looked at Glenn and said, Dad, can we go watch? She calls him Pepperoni Nipples, but it's Outdoor Boys. It's this YouTube channel, and it's this guy that has these giant ass nipples. And the only reason we know how big his nipples are is because in one episode he's sitting in a hot spring and they're like freakishly large, bright red nipples. Like there's something wrong with this dude. But anyway, she goes, Dad, can we go watch Pepperoni Nipples in your bed? And so I am giving Gable a hug. I'm like, okay, bub, be careful. I love you, whatever. And I turn around and these fools, Glenn and the two girls, are laid up in the bed watching Outdoor Boys. And I'm like, it's almost bedtime. And he's like, well, we got like 15 minutes. Okay, fine. So we're sitting there in like 15 minutes. I'm like, hey, y'all need to go brush your teeth. Nobody moved. I'm like, did I say that out loud? Maybe I didn't say it out loud. Hey, y'all need to go brush your teeth. It's bedtime. I know I'm speaking out loud at this point. And I look at him, I'm like, did y'all? And they're like, yeah, but we're just still watching blah, blah, blah. And I looked at him like, hey, you gonna do something? And he was like, go brush your teeth. And they're like, okay. And they just got up and went and brushed their teeth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Wait a second. I guess that's a good thing, but maybe not. Maybe they listen when they're supposed to.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. My three's kind of like that too. Like I think they would probably listen to me, but my girls never laid in the bed and watched TV with Gary or nothing like that.
Yeah, no, they're like, we have this whole thing like with Glenn and I, where Gamblin and Atlee, both of them will be like, no, he's mine. No, he's mine. Like we go back and forth, and you figure he's partly because Gary worked all these wild ass hours, right?
Yeah.
It was a big factor.
20 hours a day,
but Glenn also wanted to be a dad so bad, and we worked so hard that he kind of has a different view than most men.
Yeah.
Kind of like, hey, nothing's going to stop me because I worked really hard for this.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's understandable.
they have a really cool relationship. He struggles right now because Gamblin, being 12-year-old girl, like she's pulled back, and he's dad instead of daddy, and he doesn't like that at all.
It's gonna be bruh.
No, she tried that with me the other day, and he was like, "I better never hear you call your mother bruh again."
Like, really, that doesn't bother me.
He was like, "Don't."
Yeah.
I didn't really care, but he wasn't about it. So
yeah, Gary doesn't like it either. But I'm like, it's not. To me, it's just not that big of a deal. It's I know I'm mom, and they know I'm mom, and I know they know that I'm mom.
I know that you know that I know that you know that I know.
But so it doesn't really. As long as they don't call me you fucking bitch to my face, you know.
I feel like Rob the other day, he called Glenn, he was talking to him, and he was like, I say the other day, it could have been a year ago. It wasn't recent. Let's be honest, it wasn't recent. But it was the other day. It was another day. But he said, how do you say it? I just got MF'd by my daughter. And Glenn was like, what? And he goes, yeah. Kirsten just said, listen here, motherfucker.
Nice.
And Rob goes, I didn't know whether to be pissed off or not because she's 25 years old. Like, she's an adult. Yeah. And what I said was kind of shitty. So
that's funny.
I'm like, yeah, we haven't got there yet.
Yeah.
We haven't got there yet.
None of my kids have ever talked to me like that. It was weird when they like kind of started cussing in front of me.
Yeah, that's strange.
Like on a regular basis, you know.
Like not monitoring what they're saying.
Yeah. Skyla, she still is like, can I say shit? You know, whatever. And I'm like, I don't care, whatever.
That's a word.
Yeah. But now we'll be sitting on the couch and she'll be in her room playing her Xbox or whatever the hell she's playing. And we'll hear, motherfucker! Fucking do this, fucking do that. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Preston Jr. That's all we heard from Preston for years. Yes, for years. And we didn't really, every once in a blue moon, we'd hear it from Caitlin. But Preston and Skyla are my gamers.
Yeah. Like,
Caitlin gamed, but not like...
They're in it.
Yes. Yeah. And Preston even more than Skyla. But it's just, it's funny. Like, the only thing we don't hear anymore is lagging. That's all we heard from Preston. Because we didn't have the internet back then like we do now.
Good internet, yeah.
So
Gable was one of those kids, like, I didn't hear him utter a cuss word until he was well in his 20s.
Oh, really?
And even then, like, his friends
the difference between me and you.
Even in high school, though, his friends would be like, no, he doesn't cuss. Like, Gable just did it. Now he does.
Yeah.
But he just did it.
Really?
And, like, even the kids at church would give him a hard time because they were like, you don't ever say a bad word. Like, that's, like, you should be saying bad words, whatever. Whereas Milo now is like, what a bitch. And I'm like, okay, kid.
Yeah, Caitlin, she cusses like, kind of like I do now. I mean, cusses like a sailor.
Yeah.
Preston, he's still kind of, I mean, he cusses, don't get me wrong, but he's a little bit more reserved with it.
Yeah, he doesn't cuss near as much as, like, even Glenn does.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? What does it matter? Like, who decided that bitch was a bad word?
Yeah. I mean, it's in the Bible, isn't it?
I don't know about that. I don't know that bitch is in the Bible, but...
No, I think it is, isn't it?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think so. I think hell and damn are, but... And ass. But I don't know about bitch. I don't know if that one's actually in the Bible. You can Google that if you want it in your search history.
All right, let's see. We're about to... I don't know if it is or not.
We were talking about that, though, with the little girls. Gable, actually, on Sunday, he said this. Atlee said... No, Gamblin said something smart ass. And it wasn't a cuss word, but it was just like smart ass. And Gable looked at me and he was like, if I had said that, you would have jumped all over me, but she just got away with it at all. And then I look over at Gamblin and she's just flipping him off. Just full on, like, looking at him like this, just spreading her finger. And I'm like, Gable, she just flipped you off. And he was like, if I had done that, I'm like, well, I'm cooler now. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, it is not.
That one's not in there.
No, it is not.
So if you've ever wondered, the word bitch is not in the Bible.
I could have sworn because I knew they were talking about a dog.
What kind of Bible you read?
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Gable showed me his dating profiles.
No.
Yeah, he's got him some dating profiles out there. I don't know if he
Uh-oh.
has Tumblr. I don't know if that's a dating one,
I don't think so.
but he has some other ones, and he's showing me those, and they're very respectful and like.
I like long walks on the beach.
On one point, literally says like, "I like walking in the woods," and like you're gonna kill someone. But it was like a picture of him hunting. He's like, "I like just being in the woods and in my deer stand and hunting and fishing." And I was like, "Okay, well, whatever." He had a couple days. He said one girl was cray. He was like, "That
Is he
girl."
not dating the one girl anymore?
No,
The little Jewish girl or whatever.
Girl. Yeah, they ex-nate that.
Oh.
That's not going where he thought it was going.
No.
So he said he was like, "I'm not in any rush. I'm just
don't be."
dating
That's what I keep
whoever."
that's what I keep trying to tell Preston too, which he needs to slow the fuck down. But I'm like, don't.
You don't need an Arizona baby mama and a Georgia baby mama and a Tennessee baby mama and a
Florida and
just every state he passes through. Another baby
mama. But I'm like, with you being with your job that you have in the military, you're going to be deployed 80% of the time.
Yeah.
So why even get into a relationship right now? Wait until you get a little further into your, military career and you start slowing down. If you do start slowing down on your deployments, or have your fun, but
no glove, no love.
Yeah.
No glove, no love.
Yeah.
That needs to be his motto. He needs to get that shit tattooed on his right hand.
Or on his
I was being nice. No glove, no love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and Gable's that way. You figure he's just a couple years younger than Preston, but he should graduate in the fall with his degree, and he's got a job lined up.
Oh, that's nice. Where at?
Like for his dad.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's planning on jumping from there. He's going to be living in. They have like a shop apparently when they were building their house. Like they built a shop first, and then they had an apartment in the shop. So he's going to live in that apartment when he comes back, and he should be back this week actually because the rest of his classes are online.
Oh, nice.
So he'll be back from tech, and he said he's just gonna, date whoever clicks his profile or that he clicks theirs, and whatever. He's at that age, and Preston is too. Caitlin probably too, where so many of his friends are getting married and having babies, and like one of his really good friends just had a baby. I think she's like her name's Penelope, and she's like maybe 3 months old, something like that. She's so freaking cute. But he's like, yeah, Magi's got, baby. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm not doing that anytime soon. I'm like, okay, remember that.
Yeah.
In the heat of the moment, remember that.
That's what Caitlin says. Caitlin's like, I don't want to have any kids anytime soon. I mean, she's only 21, so, that's good. Let's,
let's slow the brakes.
Yeah.
But at 21, what were you doing?
I was active duty military and
had a kid. You figure by 21, I'd been married for 2 years. Well, for a year, I guess. Actively trying to have a kid and had a mortgage.
Yep.
Like, that's crazy. And I don't want my kids to do that. I want them to go, like even Glenn said that. He's like, we want y'all to go live your life. Gable's sitting around talking about all these stories from specifically his freshman year. I'm like, dude. He's like, yeah, it's a wonder I didn't get alcohol poisoning that time. I'm like, you think?
Mm-hmm.
But he's got plenty of stories from college, let me tell you. And
that's the cool part.
That's what he should be doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, that's exactly what you should be doing at 23 years old.
And that's like Preston. He's going to have some pretty cool stories from the military. And even though he's at school, I don't know what the rules are for school nowadays, but I know what I was doing at my A school 20 some years ago. I mean, I wasn't sober the whole time I was there. So
went to school drunk, got out of school drunk, got drunk again.
And I mean, even like on deployments, I would show up because I was a cop in the military. I would show up at the armory at 5 o'clock in the morning, still drunk because I hadn't even went to sleep yet.
Oh my god.
You know, or I'd maybe got home and took about an hour nap, jumped up and got in the shower and got to the armory. You know,
that's so funny to me because I don't have those stories. Like I didn't do those things at all. I was married and
yeah,
had a friggin' life or whatever. But I look at my kids and I'm like, I don't want that. I want you to have these stories.
Mhm.
Like even Milo she's finishing up her freshman year of college and she's done phenomenal. She just got another invitation to another honor society.
Oh, nice.
She's not going to join it because she doesn't care about it.
Yeah.
But it's cool that
Yeah.
it's like for academic excellence because she's had such a high GPA all year. It's not like National Honor Society, it's something else. But anyways, she was like, it's not going to do me any good in my career, so I'm not messing with it because I don't want to have to jack with all that. And I was like, fair enough, but it's cool that you got invited.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't have so many wild stories.
But she's more like you.
But she's so much more like me.
Yeah.
Like her wild stories is going to the library until they close. You know what I mean? Like that's literally. She was like, yeah, I spend 90% of my weekends when I stay at school in the library.
And see, and that's what's funny is all three of my kids are going to be like me and have the stories.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm sure Shay had stories too, and probably most of them weren't good. But I've got like all the cool stories, you know. And Gary, I mean, I haven't heard any cool stories from Gary. I always tell Gary he's the square of us. I'm the one that wants to go out and party. I'm the social butterfly. I'm the, you know, and he's the more reserved, well-reserved one. But like just last night, Skyla, she'll be 17 here in a few months, and she's already graduated high school. And she was like, Mom, can I go to this bonfire? It's on the beach or on the beach part of the lake. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I said, you know the rules, no drinking and driving. If you get there and you accidentally drink, call me. I will come get you. She knows the rules. And so we were talking about it, and Gary comes out of the bedroom and is like, I don't want you going to that, and you might get in trouble there. Does anybody else know what's going on and all this? And I'm like, did you forget that you were a kid?
Like at one time you had fun like this.
I said, I'm the mom that, because where I'm from in Illinois, we always partied in the middle of cornfields. Well, and for everybody,
I've never been in a cornfield.
Well, and for everybody that doesn't know this, like you go into the cornfield and there's a road in between the cornfields and stuff like this. Well, there's usually an area where it's kind of like a big circle, square, whatever. And there's no cornfield there. Well, that's where we would all go. And then for you to get there, you had to have an invitation. And we always were like, okay, flash your lights so many times so we know you're part of us.
Yeah.
Well, and if you didn't stop and flash your lights, the closer the lights came, the scattered we got into the cornfield, right? Well, and for everybody that doesn't know this, when you run through a cornfield, if you don't put your arms up in front of your face, the corn silks, they tear your face up.
That's wild.
So, and I'm always telling my kids, I'm like, hey, if you're ever partying in the middle of the cornfield, and you have to run, put your arms up.
Are there a lot of cornfields around North Texas?
Well, no, not really. But I'm just saying.
But a wheat field, maybe. Or a hay field.
Maybe. And we would party in barns. Like
I did go to
old abandoned barns, stuff like that.
One time.
Yeah.
And the girl I was with left me and went and had sex with some dude in the rafters of the barn.
Hey,
that's all here.
That's a good story.
And it wasn't so much for me because I sat there on like the little hay bale, like, oh my God, what if the cops come? I'm going to go to jail. It was not pleasant for me. And I think I ended up calling like another friend, like, hey, can you come pick me up? This is not my bag. Or I may have just taken.
I probably would have been the friend up in the rafters.
Yeah, Brandy didn't wait. Like she was the wild friend. Like she was the wild one. And then later on was my friend Nicole. And Brandy, more than once, I lost her. One time we were at a rodeo. We were at the high school rodeo, and we were at the arena, and she knew all these people And it was her school. She went to different schools. It was her school. I didn't know anyone. And I look around. I'm like, "Where's Brandy?" Like, I'm with this group of people. I don't know anybody. 16 years old. I'm like, "Where's Brandy?" And she was off having sex with some dude in a horse trailer. She comes walking out, and I'm like, "Where have you been?" And then he comes walking out. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Oh,
And then my friend Nicole was like that too. Actually, one of my friends had to be hoes because Nicole was that way. We went this one time. I went with her. She had an El Camino, and it was a piece of
nice.
shit. And we left school, and we were going to this dude's house that she knew. It was supposed to some guy she was dating. He was in college. We were still in high school, whatever. And we went to his house, and there was a giant ass bong on the coffee table.
Nice.
And I didn't know what a bong was. I'd never even seen a bong. I didn't know what weed was. Nothing. And she was like, "Hey, I'll be right back." And she went upstairs, and she was gone for like hours. And there was this other dude that lived in this apartment too, and he comes down, he starts ripping on this bong. He's like, "You want some?" I'm like, "No, no, I just want to go home. Like, I just want to go home." And he was like, "Well, your friend's upstairs. Like, you could." And I was like, "No, no, that's not what I'm about. No." And then here she comes walking down the stairs. I'm like, "Bitch, you could. Why did you bring me with you if you knew that's what she was going to go do?"
Oh.
That's probably the extent of my stories. Maybe one time with Nicole. And did I ever tell you about the guy that had chili written across his belly and tattoos?
No, I don't think so.
You don't remember that? We were probably like 17. It was Nicole and I again. And we were at the bowling alley, and Larry worked there.
Yeah.
We were at the bowling alley, and these dudes were there, and they were bowling or playing pool or whatever hood rat dudes do. And Nicole got to flirt with them. So we were leaving with them, and Larry stopped me, and he was like, "Hey, I don't know if you should be going with them." And I was like, "Well, I'm going to my car. I'm going home. She's going with them." He's like, "Okay, cool. That's not what we were doing, but that's what I told him."
Yeah.
So her and I and this, I want to say there was like 3 dudes maybe, and they were like sketchy. Like, it was some sketchy shit. I drove my car, and one of them rode with me, and then she got in their car and rode with the other 2. Well, one of them, they were probably in their, we were 17, 18. They were probably in their 20, 21 range. And this one dude lifts up his shirt, and he's got, those like gangster letters where you like on the back of your window it says Ramirez, and it's like those gangster. It said Chili, Chilly, and I was like, what is that? And he was like, "It's a tattoo. That's my nickname." And across his belly said Chili. I remember thinking, like, who the hell gets chili on their belly? These are not my people. These are not my people. And I think she ended up, I don't know what all she did with them, but I think we went to her house, and I like we were supposed to hang out there, and I was like, "No, I'm going home. Like, y'all have fun." And the 3 dudes and her, I don't know what all happened after that, because I just saw her the next Monday at school. I abandoned ship. I'm like, "This is not for me. I still got my B card. I'm not here for chili."
Not here for chili. That's awesome.
Can you imagine? Like, that's the extent of the stories, though, of all of my high school days.
Oh,
that's as wild as I got.
I have a lot more than that, and all mine are after high school, because I had the strict mom that I couldn't do anything,
Or you just did it behind her back.
I mean, there was times, yes, I did do it behind her back, but
I
like go for walks and end up at somebody's house party. So
did she just like believe that you were going to go for a walk?
No. So the one is it was me and my friend Lacey, and I think I might have already told this story. Her mom, I think, was a nurse. And then she had 2 brothers and a younger sister. Well, the younger sister, from what I remember, she was a little hellion on wheels. I mean, she got in trouble all the time. But anyway, Lacey and I, we were closer in age, and so we were friends. I think she was a year older than me. And our 2 brothers were older. Well, the one brother still lived at home, and I think the younger sister was gone that night or something. And her mom was at work. And the boy that I had the biggest crush on all through school lived like basically right across the street from her, down the street from me. Well, I told Mom I was staying all night at Lacey's.
You liar.
I know.
You hussy.
I know. And we ended up going to this boy's house, and he lived with his grandmother because she was old, and he kind of was there to kind of take care of her, to help her, whatever. So he got away with everything, that he'd put her to bed and the parties started, And well, when we went to the party and everything, and when we got back, I think Lacey's mom showed up, or brother showed up at the party and was like, "Is Shannon and Lacey here?" And we're like, "Oh shit!" And so we went home. Well, then whenever they took me home the next morning, because it was in the middle of the night, and when they took me home the next morning, that's whenever my mom beat me with the buggy whip. So, and then I was grounded for like the rest of my life there.
Life. Like for the rest of my days.
Yeah, that I was at home.
And what good did that beating do? Really?
Yeah.
Did that beating do any good for you in the long run?
I mean, no, I guess not.
Because you still did what you were going to do anyway.
Yeah, just whenever I left home at 17, that's when I became the real wild child. Like,
Because then you had no restrictions. Yeah. That's what Gable was talking about. And he was like, yeah, I was like, I got to college and I was just like, I'm going to do whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's not, I was like, was it because we were too strict? And he was like, no, he's like, I really just didn't have the opportunity to do a lot of stuff in high school because he wasn't, super popular. So he was like, the parties
he was a nerd because he got good grades and was like, what, 2 grades ahead? 1 grade ahead?
1 grade ahead,
yeah.
Yeah, but he's like,
But it's usually those kids that
didn't hit college, and that's why he's 5th year student.
Yep.
Because I didn't know that till this weekend. I found out that his first semester of sophomore year, he was on academic probation so bad they wouldn't even let him take a class. So that's why he's behind.
Oh.
Because the beginning of his sophomore year.
So did TJ know and just not tell you?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, well.
I hope I don't get Gable in trouble.
Yeah, well.
I don't know. But, like, he lived his life.
Well, and
I'm like, that's what you're supposed to do in college.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I want you to be safe. And yes, I don't want you to do anything that you're going to end up in jail or
and
have a disease or get pregnant or whatever.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what I tell my girls. And Preston just,
It's like with drugs. I've told him if it grows in the ground, it's probably okay.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I tell mine, too. Because it was shortly, about a year or so after Shay died and everything. I think it was Caitlin. They were like, would you rather me be drinking or smoking weed? And I'm like, honestly, smoking weed.
Smoking weed all day, every day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I tell all 3 of my kids that. I'm like, if you have to choose, smoke the weed.
If you're at a party and they've got weed or alcohol, I would much rather you be smoking weed than getting alcohol poisoning because you're trying to keep up with a bunch of kids that drink every weekend or every day or whatever.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I would much rather you be sitting there stoned on somebody's couch eating their Cheetos.
Yeah.
Than out running through the streets and puking your guts up because you've had way too much alcohol and your body doesn't even know what to do with it.
Yep. Exactly.
But when we were kids, weed was the gateway drug.
Yeah.
And we should all be doing heroin if we ever smoked weed.
Yes. Yep.
Like, oh, you smoked weed, now you should be doing heroin.
Yep.
I don't buy into that propaganda anymore.
I don't either. Not anymore. Which I really didn't then either.
I mean,
because I was the pot smoker.
They terrified us. They had the friggin' egg. This is your brain.
This is your brain on drugs.
And like shattered the egg. Like, oh my God, if I smoke a joint, my brain is going to explode.
Yeah.
You can't tell people like me that because I'm taking it literal.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is it. If I smoke weed, the next day I'm going to be a crackhead. That's what I thought for the longest time. Not anymore. I don't think that anymore.
Yeah. When I was, after I left home and everything, I was the biggest, I wouldn't say the biggest pothead, but I was a very big pothead. I mean, I smoked from the time I woke up in the morning till
I would smoke it all day.
Yeah, smoked it all day and night and passed out because I smoked too much. So, and I did that for, I don't know, probably about a year or so. And then I was like, okay, time to calm down a little bit. And then I joined the military. So.
And then you didn't have a choice. You just had to drink.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really make sense. Like, if you think about it, there's way more people dying from alcohol than from weed.
Mm-hmm.
But let's give everybody alcohol all the time.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I remember getting like drinking so much that I was drinking Jim Beam and out of the bottle and chasing it with vodka.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Which isn't that a military thing too? Like,
Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean, there's a lot of drinking happening in the
yeah.
military.
And that's usually when you start smoking cigarettes. Or, well, I guess nowadays it's vaping.
Vaping. Yeah. Do people really smoke cigarettes anymore?
I have no idea.
I mean, I always see people just with their vapes.
Yeah.
You know, you don't really see people, old people you do.
Yeah.
You know, people
Yeah.
our age maybe still smoking cigarettes.
Yeah. And the older. Yeah.
But
the boomers.
like Preston's age,
they're all vapes.
It's all vapes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't ever see those kids smoking actual cigarettes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'd rather my kids smoke weed than cigarettes anyway.
Yeah.
Like, at least there's some benefits to weed.
Well, and I didn't smoke cigarettes until I joined the Navy. And that's because when a working party would start, you'd be like, oh, I got to go smoke. I got to take a break. And so you take 50 breaks, in an hour.
Yeah.
And you always went down to the smoke pit. Well, if you were down there, you had to smoke or,
Yeah, you just look like an idiot.
Yeah. And so I didn't start smoking cigarettes until I joined the military. And then I smoked until, Skyla was probably 4 or 5. And then I went to vaping. And back then, they look like what today's dab pens look like, which Skyla and I had a conversation yesterday because she took her contacts, put them in or took them out, something, and she was having an issue doing whichever one she was doing, and her eyes were all red, and everything. And she goes, it looks like how did she say it? It looks like I smoked 2 blinkers.
Blinkers?
See?
What the fuck's a blinker?
And she was on the phone with her friend, and I went, what the fuck is a blinker?
Oh, wait, Gable just called blinker the other day.
And
he said that.
And I said, what the fuck is a blinker?
Yeah.
Well, her and her friend on the phone started dying laughing, like, oh my God, Mom. And I went, you kids change these names every damn week.
Making up shit.
Yeah, making up a new name every week. How are we supposed to keep up with this shit?
Keep up with your slang.
Yeah. And she goes, well, do you know what I can't remember what she called it now, but it's a dab pen. But she called it something different. And I went, you mean a dab pen? And she went, yes, Mom. And I go, idiot. Yeah. And I go, okay, I know what a dab pen is. And she goes, okay, like when you take a big hit off of it, so big that it almost like kills the battery and it starts blinking. And I went, okay. I said, I've never really done a dab pen, but I said, I know what.
Get the premise.
Yeah, I get the point here. And she goes, it was blinking, a blinker. And I went, see, that's dumb.
That's dumb. Yeah. Gable said something about, or maybe it was kids. I don't know. One of them said blinker, and I was like, what the hell is that? We didn't ever finish the conversation though, so I don't think I even.
Well, that's what Skyla says.
I'm sure it's the same.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay.
Blinker.
Yeah. I think they're called carts. I think
carts is
dab pen now is a cart, and if you smoke it like that and the light blinks, it's a blinker. I guess. Wow. I don't know.
Wow.
But if you think about it, we had stupid names.
Stupid shit.
Yeah.
That's like the crap that they wear and stuff that they say. Because I was like, this is dumb, these stupid kids. I'm like, do you realize we walked through the hall and went, did you drop this? And point to your crotch. Do you remember that? Like every boy in high school, they walk by, you dropped this. You don't remember that?
No, ours was always suck it.
Oh yeah, that came from
the WWE or WWF,
that one
whatever.
Too, like we had said the same stupid stuff, just in different words.
Yeah.
Like the same, like the crap that we wear. I remember wearing. Gable was talking about. She was wearing socks and slides the other day.
See, that's what I wore the Umbro.
Yeah,
shorts with the Umbro tank tops with the sports bra underneath. And then I would wear knee-high socks. That's where I was going. With Adidas sliders.
Yes, with the ones with the little knobs on the bottom.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I remember wearing these socks up to my knees. And even old man socks that had the stripe at one point.
Yep.
And then at some point it got cool to wear like shirts with a name on them, like work shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I would wear my dad's shirt that said like stainless steel, whatever, Bob Crawford. And I'd wear that shit like it was my, I don't know, my dream shirt.
Yeah.
Or bowling shoes, stealing bowling shoes and wearing those.
You know what? Which they're not bowling shoes, but they look like bowling shoes, but Walmart, I think, sold them. And Skyla and I were walking by, it's a few months ago, maybe even a year or so ago, I don't remember. But we walked by and I was like, oh my God, those shoes are so cool. And she went, what? And I was like, they look like bowling shoes.
You don't understand.
Nope.
Yeah, I'll have to. Some of the shit that they say and they wear, and I'm like, we did the same thing. Mm-hmm. Gamblin was in her socks and slides, and Glenn was like, I can't believe you're wearing socks and sandals, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, do you not remember every girl in Birkenstocks and sandals?
Yep.
Like, and now Birkenstocks are back.
Yep.
Like, that's a big thing now, is Birkenstocks and what else are they wearing that we did back in the day? Like, all those things that...
Now, Cavaricci's.
Z Cavaricci.
Yep.
Yeah, those haven't come back yet,
I don't think so, but we watched, we went to the movies last weekend and watched the Michael Jackson movie, and they had the Z Cavaricci's.
That's funny.
Yep.
There was another one, Gerardo or something like that. Gerard, like it was another brand. You know what I'm talking about. Jordan.
I don't remember shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These kids, though, the fashion's coming back from the 90s. I'm like, y'all don't know nothing about it.
Yep.
We were the OGs because we're the best generation.
Yes, we are.
100%. Yep. All right. Well, I got to go pick up kids at school. I guess we're going to have to stop visiting.
Okay. Well. All right. Well, everybody, we go to our Facebook and share it. Share our Facebook onto your Facebook page.
Yes.
Get us out there.
Share with all your friends. Even just share it on your timeline, whatever, so that people can see. If we had MySpace, we'd tell you to put it as your number one friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Exactly.
But anyways, thanks for listening to us another week. Go like, share, follow on all the socials. We are going to start TikToking a little bit more, I think, and we'd love to have you over there as well.
Yes.
Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Bye.